Okay, Beth, we've been talking a lot about your current situation,
Mhm.
the anxiety you've been feeling with school, the idea that maybe there's a couple classes you might not be doing so well in as you thought you would, and post graduation, the employment, the idea of transitioning to the workforce, and it's all been a little overwhelming for you. But I kind of want to ask you a few questions that pertain to your history. You don't have to feel obligated to answer the questions you're uncomfortable with. But I just want to get to know you. This is our first initial meeting, so I just want to get some information. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you told me you're 22 years old, that you've never had any problems with school. Could you tell me a little more detail about how elementary school went for you and how middle school and high school went for you, academic-wise?
Um, well, in elementary school, I was always in the advanced courses. Um, I didn't really like being in them because it took away from my recess time. But as I got older, I think I started to realize that it was valuable, and it really set me ahead for middle school. Since I was in the advanced courses, I get to be in class with a lot of older students in the school. So I got to meet and make friends with older people, and I guess I didn't really go through a lot of the typical middle school. I don't know. You know how it is for kids. It's tough in middle school. I guess I didn't really have that because I was always in class doing things. Very structured, focused environment, which was good for me. High school, I was very involved in a lot of student organizations. I was National Honor Society. I also was a National Merit Scholar because I did well in the PSAT. So I've always done well in school, so it's always come pretty easy for me. High school, I really was focused on getting into college from about my sophomore year, and not only getting into college, but being able to attain a scholarship because it was important for my family since we aren't the most financially exclusive, if you want to say. But it was good. School was always good for me. I enjoyed going every day.
Okay. How would you say your test-taking abilities were in school before college?
Um, I always did better on the essay test because I was able to really expand on my knowledge. I think I did okay on the multiple choice exams. For the most part, I've always been very good with words, and so tests were pretty easy for me.
Did you have any of these feelings that you experience now, such as the nervousness or the sweating?
Not that I can remember. If I did, I don't have a recollection, so I'm guessing probably not.
Okay. Could you tell me a bit more about the friends you had in school growing up?
Um, well, going to the same school system while growing up, being in especially in the advanced courses, I was with the same group of people almost all the way through. So I really had a good group of about 10 friends, and we always hung out. Um, since high school, obviously we all went to college, and we've had our gone different ways, but we still try to stay pretty close. High school, I tried to expand my group of friends more, and I had a lot more acquaintances, but I wouldn't say I really had a lot more friends, close friends. And then going into college, freshman moving weekend, I made almost not all the friends I have now, but a lot of the friends I have now I made that first weekend. So I've always been able to get to know people easily.
Well, I'm glad you had a good transition. A lot of students sometimes going from high school to college can be kind of rough. So it seems like you did pretty well with it.
I'd say so.
Okay. What about family? Can you tell me a bit about your family? Do you have parents that are living? Do you have siblings?
Both my parents are still married. They've been married for 20 something years, almost exactly. The younger brother, John, he is going to be graduating high school, so he's about 4 years younger than me. And he always wanted to do everything I did. So he again, he's very smart. He was in the advanced courses as well, but he's looking at Ivy League, so he's a pretty smart kid. we have a very good family. I grew up in a great home, and I do think that in the past my mom may have had a lot of the feelings that I have now, but I can't really confirm that because I was young. But I do remember times where she would get so almost frantic that it was difficult to talk to her.
Okay, so you saw firsthand what she was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember in what situation it was happening? Was she somewhere specific or something specific happening?
I think a lot of it had to do with my father lost his job. Like I said, I can't remember how old I was, but I would say around 10 to 12. He was an executive of a corporation, and they got bought out, and he lost his job. They bought him out. And he was out of work for quite a while, and I think that brought a lot of, first off, financial hardship, and I think that may have contributed quite a bit to my mother's anxiousness and irritability.
Do you think some of these thoughts that she might have had might be the same thoughts you have about employment after college? I know you told me it was difficult for your father, and it had to be difficult for your family. I'm sorry you had to go through that, but some of the thoughts that she could have had might resemble the thoughts you have.
It's hard for me to say because it was a while ago, but I would say from what I remember, probably very similar.
Okay, we're gonna shift a little bit into a little bit about your health, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. Have you ever previously gone to counseling for anxiety?
No.
Do you take any over-the-counter drugs or any prescription drugs at the moment?
No.
Have you ever been diagnosed with any other issues mentally, such as hyperactivity, attention deficit, depression?
No, I've never really had any issues. I've always just kind of felt like I was normal up until recently.
I appreciate your efforts in telling me this information. I know it's pretty personal.
Well, I figure if I'm going to get better, I might as well be pretty upfront about everything.
Being honest will help.
Yeah.
Alright, so you told me about your friends and your social aspect, and it seems like you have a pretty good strength with your friends. Like, you guys have like a team, like a family. It seems like, is that about right? Is it pretty
Well,
close?
yeah, I mean, one of my best friends is my roommate, so, that automatically, we're together a lot. And we both have almost the same group of friends, so yes, they come over quite a bit, and the problem is, recently, when they do come over, I sometimes will go in my room and kind of let everyone else have fun while I'm supposed to be doing work. So I think I may have been shutting myself out a little bit.
Do they ever ask you why you go in the room?
Yeah, like if I have to go to the bathroom, I'll walk through the family room, they'll all look at me like, hey, why aren't you hanging out? And I always tell them I'm doing work, and that's not always the case. So even though I'm really close to my friends, I guess I do lie to them sometimes, because I don't want to necessarily bring them into everything.
Do you think this current situation you're in with your anxiety and nervousness, do you think it's affecting your friendship?
Well, most of my nervousness is over work, schoolwork, and if I'm always thinking about that and not putting any effort into my friends, yeah, I think it is affecting my social network, yeah.
So would you say, from what you're telling me, that you avoid your friends sometimes?
I don't think avoidance is the right word. I just think that I would rather have more alone time right now.
Can I ask you what you do in that alone time?
Like I said before, sometimes I watch TV, surf the web, that's like the most distracting thing on Facebook. But I think a lot of times I just do anything just to kind of take my mind off of my jitters and anxiousness. Doesn't always work though, that's for sure. Because then those feelings of anxiety will build up because I'm not doing work, and it's just a cycle.
Well, it's trial and error. You're not always gonna be right the first time, but it doesn't mean you have to give up. There's other options. But what would you like to get out of this counseling with me?
Well, I'd like to get better. I mean, that's I think the first goal. I would like to not be so apprehensive about the future. I want to be successful. I always have been, so I expect success. I demand success for myself. And right now, that's not the case. So, whatever can lead me back on that path. And I feel like I'm pretty open to the idea of coming, meeting regularly, because even just now talking about it is kind of lightening the load a little.
Okay, when you tell me you want to get better, just to get a little more specific, so I know how I can help you.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be successful and not so apprehensive. Is that all you're looking for, to be better, or is there something specific?
Well, I mean that's part of it, but getting better, I think, will also require me to want to be more involved with the people in my life as well, because I haven't been as much.
Okay.
Um, post post college is something that's weighing heavily on me, and I think part of getting better would be just to kind of accept it more and not dwell on it. If that makes any sense.
Okay, so you talk about wanting to transition better, and you told me that you demand success.
Mm-hmm.
What is success to you?
Success to me is being happy with what my the end result of my work. I've not always been so focused on grades because I always get pretty good grades. I've always been an A, B, B plus student. Um, the grades aren't the most important thing, I don't think. And the longer I've been in college, the longer I've realized that. But I want to be happy with the work that I've done and know that I did a good job and put forth as much effort as I could. And these last few months it haven't been that, and that's why I don't know what to do.
Well, we've talked a lot today about your problems you're experiencing. I got a lot of information about your history and your family. Thank you again for that. And I think that we'll meet again, and I think we have some options that will be open for you, that we could actually help you be less apprehensive and hopefully be successful for the rest of your school year and get a job after you graduate.
That's the goal, hopefully.
Okay. It was nice to meet you.
It was nice meeting you too.
Okay,